Welcome to another episode of The Purple Couch. People really nowadays want to make you feel like something's wrong with you for being single. And the reason I know this is because I am single and because people always try to make me feel like, why are you single, RaqC? You're beautiful, you're pretty, you're successful, woo woo woo, you have a great personality, you have a great body, the list goes on and on, right? Sometimes it's a personal choice. Sometimes you're in the process of healing. Sometimes you're better off sola que mal acompañada. There's a lot of people in relationships that are miserable. And there's also a lot of people that have never experienced solitude. Being single is not a disability. We're talking about it. I love sitting on this couch and being real, raw, unapologetic, and talking about topics where everybody can relate. So there are 5 things that you learn when you are single. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot more than 5 things that you learn, and I'm positive because I've learned a lot more than 5 things, but I'm gonna narrow this video down to 5 things that you truly learn about yourself when you're single. Let's begin with number 1. You realize your strength. You know, because when you get out of a relationship, whether it's a breakup, like you got dumped, or whether you broke up with somebody, it still hurts. You're still hurting, right? You're human. You could be, and you know what? It's actually a really good thing if you've experienced both because you're able to relate to both sides of the story. Like me, I know what it is to get dumped, and I also know what it is to break somebody's heart, right? So you realize your strength, because when you go through a breakup, literally, especially if you've loved, and when you loved, you feel as though your heart is literally like in pain. You feel like there's this big pain coming from here. It feels empty. It's literal, right? So if you could overcome that day by day, because sometimes you gotta go and you gotta take it one day at a time. There was a point in my life, in my last breakup, that I was taking it an hour at a time because a day just seemed too much. You know, at the beginning, the pain is intense. It's normal. But then as time goes on, you realize, I got through it. You realize your strength, man, when you stand in the pain, when you walk on hot coals, because that's what it feels like, and then you get through it. Number 1 thing you realize when you're single, I got this. I'm going to be okay. Number 2, you get to experience a beautiful relationship with solitude. Some people have never experienced solitude in their life. All they ever did was be in relationships. That would have been my story until I took a pause. But I know people that are married, that have been married 35, 25, 40 years, that they've never experienced what it is to be alone. Now, I want to sit there and ask myself, wow, I mean, that's beautiful and all, but gosh, what a life. What a life when you get to experience maybe a long-term relationship, but you also could say, you know what, mija, you know what, mijo, you know what, to your friends, you know what, to a group of people that you're talking to, like, I know what it is to experience solitude. And am I going to say it takes a special person to experience that? Maybe. Some people think that they cannot be alone. And you know why I say that? Because I used to be that person that thought that I couldn't survive by myself, that I thought that I couldn't do things by myself. I thought, oh my God, like how am I going to do this by myself? And now I could tell you, I love solitude. I might be liking it a little too damn much. But you get to experience solitude, and in solitude, oh my gosh, you get so many answers to so many things. And there's so much power in solitude. And remember, some people don't ever experience that. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of sad. But you know what? I'm not judging any type of relationship, but I could tell you right now, I'm thankful that I've experienced what solitude feels like. Another amazing thing you realize when you're in the state of singleness, solitude, being by yourself is you get to rediscover your passions. Because a lot of times what happens is this: you're in a relationship and you really become intertwined with that person. You kind of sort of become, I know that sounds more like marriage where like you become one, but sometimes, listen, there's some of us that live with our boyfriend and our girlfriend and we kind of become that one unit, right? Whether it's right or wrong to your parents or in front of the eyes of God, we all have done it, right? I mean, not all, but a lot of us have done it, right? I've done it, you've done it. But, sometimes you get lost in the passions of in your partner's passions. What do they like? Where do they like to go? What do they like to do? Who do they like to hang out with? What is their favorite food? And we completely forget about self. We completely forget, well, damn, what does RaqC like? What's my favorite dessert? Where's my favorite destination to travel? Where do I like to hang out? Because everything becomes about our partner. Is that healthy? Not necessarily, but it happens. It happens. And I'm not judging it, and neither should you, but it just happens. And so when you're alone, you rediscover your passions. You rediscover what makes you happy. It could be simple things to extravagant things, whatever floats your boat. But you get to rediscover your passion. Like me, one of my biggest passions is I love my garden. I love my fruit trees. As simple and corny as that sounds, I love, being domestic around my house. And it's just like, sometimes when you're in a partnership, we really, really do. I think unconsciously, we just make it all about the other person. And it's beautiful, but sometimes we could get lost in that. And that's when we start building resentments. Like, man, it's all about him. It's all about her now. Like, what the hell? What about me, right? And that's when things start becoming a little bit tense in relationships and the friction can get real. Seriously, when you're single, you don't miss none of that drama. That peace from being single is priceless. Another great thing you learn from being single. Oh my God, let me take a shot of mezcal for this one. Or a little sip. Let me put the pinky up. By the way, this has nothing to do with the video, but whenever you sip on tequila or mezcal, you're supposed to sip it, not take it to the head. I don't know who came up with that dumb concept. Do you take your shots of mezcal or tequila to the head, or do you sip them? Leave a comment below. Okay. Fourth thing you learn about being single is you're able to learn and reflect on what you did, on your mistakes, and you're able to learn from them. You're able to say, you know what? I really don't desire that for my next relationship. I really don't want to repeat that cycle. I really want to, whatever it may be, right? Because all of our needs are different. But the idea of getting out of relationships is to learn the lesson, right? And one of my mentors always reminds me that if you find yourself in the same situation over and over again, time and time again, there's a lesson to be learned, and you haven't learned it. So the beautiful thing when you're single is you're able to reflect. There is no time limit because you're spending time with self, and you're able to say, I choose to not be in that situation again. And whether people want to tell you, oh, well, you're too picky. You're always going to be by yourself now because all of a sudden your standards got so high. No, don't let anybody put that kind of garbage in your head because you got standards. What's wrong with that? Because you know what you want. What's wrong with that? Because now you are more self-defined because you've matured and you've healed the right way. Nothing is wrong with that. So don't let anybody try to come rain on your parade and try to be like, oh, you're going to be single forever because you're all of a sudden too picky. No, I just know what I want. Don't get it twisted. Okay? Last but not least, one of the most powerful things that you learn when you're single is you really develop a relationship with self. And once you establish that for yourself in your singleness, in your solitude, it's like you're never going to lose yourself again in a relationship, right? And you start realizing, you know what? The next partner that I want in my life or that comes into my life, I want them to add a value to my life, right? It's not like you're trying to get saved or like they gotta come and, you know, in this white horse and save the day or whatever. No, it's just you want your partner to add value to your life, and you want them also to be healed, and you want them to also know what they want, because you also want your partner to have a great sense of self. Because when you have a great sense of self, you start looking at partnership as like, not as a need, right? Not like, oh, I need somebody in this life to complete me. You look at it as an asset to your life. It's an added value because you are valuable by yourself. And a lot of times people think that they're more valuable with a person and with a partner by their side. Hence, that's where the bullying comes from. I get that all the time on social media. And I'm thankful that I'm strong, you guys, because imagine somebody that's not strong like me, and you're going in on them on why they're single. Like, there's been moments in my solitude that I've sat in reflection, and I'm just like, I get asked that all the time. Why are you single? Why are you single, RaqC? Whether it's through Snapchat or through Instagram or people in person, like, why are you single? But, you know, people say it in a certain tone where I'm just like, why not? That's like if I ask you, why are you overweight? Why are you wearing that? Like, it's all about, like, be careful with your tone when you ask people, because some people are more sensitive than others. Don't make somebody that's single, that's on their journey of solitude, happiness, and rediscovery, don't make somebody like that feel like something's wrong with them, because nothing is wrong with them. It's their journey, and it's where they're at. And if they're happy in that journey, let them be happy. Just like you might be happy in a relationship, or you might be miserable in a relationship. But don't hate on somebody that's single just because you don't understand it. Just because you've been conditioned to think that a woman or a man is more valuable when they're married. Or, you know, this topic comes up too, women or men that have kids, right? Just because a woman doesn't have kids doesn't mean she's less valuable than a woman that does have kids. You just got to be more aware of how we're approaching different situations and different topics, because at the end of the day, I'm human and I feel. And it never feels good to be approached when you think you're doing things in your life correctly, but people look at you like something's wrong with you, like, and you're just like, what? No. It's never okay to think that you could bully somebody just because you don't understand where they're at in their life. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm thankful that you guys always send me YouTube ideas, and you guys love my real talk conversations, because, you know, conversations like these, topics like these need to be brought up. It's never okay to bully somebody because you don't understand them. If you're gonna get anything from this video, is that live your life and let other people live their life. Listen, this tattoo on my shoulder, you know what it says? It says live and let live. That is one of my mantras. So I love you guys. I'll catch you guys next time, honey. And remember, comment below, have you ever lost yourself in a relationship? I want to know. And what do you prefer? Mezcal? I swallowed wrong. Or tequila. On that note, we're done with this video. Bye, guys. Mwah.